Hi guitar players, and thank you so much for joining me. If you want to expand your major pentatonic blues phrasing, this is a video for you. In this 6th blues lick lesson here on the Guitar Inspiration channel, I'll teach you how to play that tasty blues lick that you heard in the intro. It's a great blues phrase in E major pentatonic, and I'll explain how I use that scale. I'll talk about my picking pattern, and at the end of the video I'll give you a variation with a hybrid picking. Alright, grab your guitar and let's get started. The lick starts on beat 2 of that first bar of our 12-bar blues in E. So skip beat 1 and slide with your second finger, so your middle finger, from the 4th fret to the 6th fret on the G string. Play this with a downstroke, and next pick the 5th fret on the B string with an upstroke. This is a very short note, so it's played staccato, and play it with your first finger. What helps to play this note very short is to mute the strings with your right hand. So if you place the side of your right hand on all the strings right before the bridge of the guitar, you mute the sound, and this helps to play that staccato note. Also, it helps to play that 8th note rest. Next up is the 7th fret on the B string that is played with your ring finger and the downstroke. Bend this note a full tone up and make sure to play the bend with 3 fingers to give it extra strength. Now this is especially important because here we're holding the bend. So hold the bend, and while you're holding the bend, play the 7th fret on the E string with your pinky. Play this with an upstroke and again perform that muting motion with your right hand. So that 7th fret on the E string is played staccato as well. So up until now we have 3, 4, 1. Now at the end of bar 1, pick and release the bend string and play this with an upstroke. So this continues into a triplet pattern in bar 2. Now if this is the first time that you're learning a lick where you're bending and holding the string and you find it challenging, that's perfectly normal. These licks take some time to learn, they take some practice, especially to keep them clean. In the beginning you'll have lots of unwanted string noise, so that's why I wanted to show you how I mute the strings with my right hand. I think that's a great way to get started with these bend holding licks. So like I said in bar 2, after the release of the bend, this continues into a triplet pattern. Pull off that 7th fret to the 5th fret on the B string that is played with your index finger, and next play the 6th fret on the G string again with your second finger. That 6th fret is played with a downstroke, and continue this downstroke motion to the 5th fret of the B string again. So this makes it a little sweep. It's a type of economy picking where you transition from the G string to the B string with 1 downstroke. This is the first of a group of 4 16th notes, so we're playing double time here, where we're playing that 5th fret on the B string first, then we do a hammer-on to the 7th fret, followed by the 5th fret again with a pull-off. And this group of 4 on the 6th fret of the G string, and extend the downstroke again with a mini sweep to the 5th fret of the B string. These mini sweeps are especially useful because they make sure you can transition strings very quickly. So up until now we're only playing in the E major pentatonic scale. Let me draw up a diagram of that E major pentatonic scale in that position and show you how our lick relates to that scale. So only E major pentatonic up until now. Now let's spice the lick up a little bit by adding the blue note or the flatted third that is in a major scale. And at the end of bar 2, you see the 8th fret on the B string appear in a double stop. A double stop, that is the 7th fret on the E string and the 8th fret on the B string. And while you play the double stop, just nudge the 8th fret on the B string a little bit up. So this is a classic blues double stop. End bar 2 with playing the 9th fret on the G string. And both those 8th notes are played with a downstroke. At first I wanted to end the lick there, but I felt like it needed some more resolution, so I just improvised, and this is what I came up with. Play the 12th fret on the last 8th note of bar 3 as a singular accented note. Play it with your ring finger and use your 1st and 2nd finger to mute the adjacent strings and keep in some dead string noise for extra effect. After picking it fiercely with a downstroke, slide down. And this is something that you would hear B.B. King do a lot in his playing. Just playing the octave, the E in this case, and slide it down. Then in bar 4, starting from the 2nd 8th note of beat 3, play the following E major blues lick. Pre-bend the 14th fret on the E string to the 15th fret, so a semitone up. And it's a pre-bend, so you kind of have to guess how much you have to bend the string before playing it with a downstroke. You can add some dead string noise again for extra effect. On beat 4 in that bar, we're playing another triplet pattern. So just like we did at the end of bar 1, we're releasing a bend into a triplet. We're doing a pull-off to the 12th fret, and then the final note is the 14th fret on the B string played with a downstroke. Then we're into bar 5 and we're playing a long E on the 12th fret of the E string again that is played with an upstroke. And give it some nice and light vibrato. I really like adding these dead string noises. I really like that in blues. Alright, so that concludes blues lick number 6, and as mentioned in the introduction, there's one last thing I want to show you, that is how I play this lick with hybrid picking. Now hybrid picking, if you're not familiar with the concept, this is something I should definitely expand on in a future lesson. Hybrid picking is when you not only pick with the pick, but also use one or more of the fingers of your right hand, and I mostly use my middle finger. I will play the lick again for you, and I marked on the tab where I use my middle finger. And it gives a subtle difference in sound. The way the fingers hit the strings gives it a more vintage plucking sound. That can be really what a blues lick needs. So you can judge yourself how big the difference is and which variation you prefer. I'll leave you with that, and I hope to see you again next time. With a downstroke, with a downstroke, with a downstroke, with a downstroke, with a downstroke.